Hello, my wonderful, wonderful friends. Welcome back to r/Entitled People, where you'll hear stories about people who think that the world revolves around them and that nobody else matters. Guys, I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday today, and if it's not Tuesday, I hope you're having a lovely day in general. Guys, this episode, I've got two stories for you. The first story is an absolutely insane story. I know I've said that I've read insane stories before, but they keep getting friggin' more insane. So it's a post with multiple updates where OP describes her current situation that she's in, where a crazy religious couple demands that she be the surrogate to their children because they believe that God has brought OP into their lives for that sole reason. Absolutely insane. The second story is grandparents who demand a biological child from their son, who has decided to adopt. My friends, you guys need to buckle up for this one because it's one wild ride. I'm still speechless from the first story. With that said, I hope you stay for the stories today and do hit that subscribe button for future Entitled People stories. Guys, let's dive in. This first story is titled, "The Time I Was Asked to be a Surrogate for an Entitled Religious Couple." So, a little backstory. I was basically homeless for a while because of some issues I'd rather not talk about. I am completely safe now, but during my time in a homeless program, I met a couple who were very religious. They were extremely sweet to me and are not the problem in this story, at all. But they used to take me to church, and it was okay for the most part. I want to note that I'm not Christian myself, and this will come up later. At the church, I met some of their friends, including a couple who we'll call Martha and John, who tried for years to have children. IVF, adoption, you name it, they apparently tried it. Nothing stuck. Eventually, they just gave up, or at least that's what they said. Fast forward a little bit, and I got an offer to live with family for a while, so I moved where they were. During this time, I got a new number, which I did give to the initial couple, who had showed me so much kindness, but I did not give it out to anyone else from that area. Well, earlier this year, I'm pulling into a parking spot at my local Target when my phone pings. I put my car in park to check the new message. It turns out it was Martha, and the message was her basically saying, "Hi, is this OP?" I didn't want to be rude, so I just said something along the lines of, "Yes, this is OP." And just left it at that because I thought it was weird that she had my number and was wondering what she wanted. So I get out of my car to do my shopping and had just found what I was looking for when my phone starts going off several times. The messages said this: "As devout believers, we know that God has a plan for each and every one of us. Sometimes He puts people in our lives as an answer to our prayers. OP, as you know, John and I have tried for almost 10 years to have a baby and have failed many times. While we've had many heartbreaks, we've always held fast to our faith and believed that God would answer our prayers in His own time. John and I believe that our prayers were answered when we met you. God led us to find you, OP. If you would agree to be our donor and surrogate, we would be more than happy to offer you a home during the pregnancies. All we ask is that you follow certain guidelines during the time you were carrying our children." I want to note that I did mean pregnancies and children. They wanted multiple from me. I'm pretty much just shell-shocked in the middle of the shampoo aisle because what did I just read? I don't respond for a minute, so she keeps sending me messages like, "We would like you to move into our spare room sometime this month so we can start your treatments immediately," and clarifying that I will need to sign a contract for each pregnancy. I eventually just messaged back with a simple, "I'm sorry, but I'm not interested." I don't feel that was rude at all, but she got pissed and basically gave me the typical bingo of, "How selfish can you be?" So I blocked her, and that was that, right? Wrong. So I get my hair care products and some other items and get to the checkout line when my phone starts blowing up. The cashier even made a comment on how someone really wanted to get in touch with me. Guys, it was basically the whole church, or at least everyone that was in that very large friend group. Apparently Martha had messaged a group chat or something, and she must have given them my number and told them that I turned down her and John's proposal, and the whole group had apparently discussed it and were angry. Or at least that's what I got from the messages I read. I ended up having to get a whole new number again, but that was my experience with baby crazy religious people. My friend asked if I would post some of the rules they had for the pregnancy so other people might get a laugh out of it. I didn't find them funny, but sure. Rule number 1. I could only work part-time as to keep from, quote, putting strain on the babies. Rule number 2. I had to eat a specific diet and would have to give up drinking and smoking, even though I don't drink or smoke already, so that stipulation was odd. Rule number 3. I would be required to check in with them when I wanted to go somewhere, even including work. Rule number 4. I had to go to church every Sunday and Wednesday and would have to take time off from work to go to church. And rule number 5. I would not be allowed to date anyone unless it was someone from the church, and I would have to sign papers saying that I would remain celibate during the treatment and the pregnancies, so they knew for sure the kids were John's. I'll post updates when I can. So that was the first part that OP posted, and what really makes me uncomfortable is the fact that they demanded not one, but multiple children from OP. Like they intended to use her as a freaking puppy mill or something. So that was the end of part 1, and this is part 2's update, and it's even more insane. Number 1. John and Martha somehow found my first post on another sub. I do not know how they found it, but John took it upon himself to write me an email. I posted the gist of it in an edit to my original post. They basically wanted me to remove the post because it was going to lead to further prosecution of Christians in America. That I should be ashamed of sharing such a private matter. That I should have taken it as a compliment because they thought that I was attractive enough to be their children's biological mother, even though I'm severely troubled and come from a much lower level of social status. And they made the offer again and said that Jesus loves me and that I should pray over this and be sure I make the right choice. I am not responding to their email, but will be emailing their pastor with proof. Number 2. The friend group then started spamming my email. I was advised to contact their pastor. I emailed him with screenshots of the text that Martha sent and an explanation of what had happened. He did not take me seriously until I said that if it did not stop, members of his church would be in danger of being exposed, and he did not like my threats. He was apparently told that John and Martha had approached me for an egg, and that I offered to be their surrogate at my own free will. And when I backed out of the agreement, it devastated the friend group. I sent a second email encouraging him to read the attachments that I sent in the first email. He later emailed me saying that he believed me and that he had received screenshots of my post in 2 subreddits. He then wanted me to give him my number so we could discuss things, but I said no because I didn't want to open myself to more harassment. I had my lawyer contact him instead. I was told he hung up on my lawyer mid-conversation. Number 3. Later last night, I got notifications from a few social media accounts telling me I had new follower and friend requests. I recognized most of the people requesting to follow as members of the ladies' friend group. Number 4. This morning I woke up to over 200 emails. Most of them were from the friend group and more follow requests. Number 5. The couple I was friends with emailed me, asking if we could meet. I did not respond. Number 6. Around midday, I started getting spammed with text messages. They somehow got my new number. I have no idea how. I never shared it with the couple I was friends with, or with the pastor. Number 7. They know the area I live in. Again, I have no idea how they found that out, and I had to go stay with someone else for the time being, and I'm safe for now. Number 8. They're leaving voicemails now. Great. More evidence. Number 9. I've gotten a couple of PMs asking if I'm okay. I appreciate your concern and your support. I'm okay for now. The only other update I can give you right now is that I've gotten a message from Martha and John telling me if I didn't stop, they would be sending me a cease and desist. Number 10. I got a call from the people that are staying at my place. A package was delivered to my door a little while ago. It did not have a label or anything on it, and the person who delivered it did not ring the bell or knock. I've left a message with my lawyer asking what we're supposed to do with it before giving the guys the go-ahead to open it. Number 11. The police were called to open the package for us. Number 12. The police came to open the package. The package has been taken as evidence. The box was full of clothes and baby things, and it came with a note. The box was fairly large and pretty much stuffed. I'll paraphrase the note in a little bit. Number 13. I do not know how else to paraphrase this, but the note was from the couple I'd been friends with. It said that they were glad that they got to be my guardian angels for a time, and explained that the items in the box were from John and Martha. The only explanation they gave for the items was that John and Martha, quote, only wanted to return what belongs to me. Number 14. They had a nursery. I just got pictures of it. The stuff they sent me was apparently from it. This is getting really creepy. They're harassing the crap out of OP, and the fact that they said they only wanted to return the clothes and toys because it belonged to OP sent chills down my spine, guys. Okay, so on to part 3. Part 3 says, so my last post got too long with all the updates, so I'm moving to a new post. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be giving updates, but I will as long as it's safe for me to do so. At this point, it's helping build a timeline, and the advice I've gotten since has been really helpful, and I really appreciate it. Number 15. I've received text and pictures of their nursery with comments like, a baby will never sleep here now, and you're too young, a few kids wouldn't have made a difference to your body. I was also messaged that the items in the box were from that room, and I feel sick. Number 16. Other than the package and the subsequent messages, it's been kind of quiet in regards to social media requests and emails. I'm honestly not sure if it should make me feel better or not. Number 17. I finally got up the courage to go through the rest of the texts I got yesterday, and there were pictures of the full nursery in one. The pictures I saw yesterday were from one side. There were 2 cribs. They were definitely expecting more than one. Number 18. The police have been called to open another 2 packages. Number 19. It was more stuff in the nursery. I don't understand why they're giving me all this stuff. Number 20. I've been sent more pictures of the nursery, this time with a bunch of stuff dumped onto the floor. I don't understand why people are sending me these. Number 21. They sent someone to deliver the cribs to my front door. Number 22. Cameras are being installed and someone will see you should you try this bull again. I do not want your baby stuff. Leave me the hell alone or I will be taking you to court along with your whole church. Number 23. I'm pressing charges. Number 24. This case is no longer in my hands. The police will be arresting both couples and a few of their friends. I'm not allowed to say what they did tonight, but I'll be granted a restraining order against the people they're picking up. Number 25. I've been advised to delete some of my comments here, and to delete my social media. I'll continue to update as things happen, but I won't be accepting chats or answering as many questions. Guys, this situation that OP posted is absolutely insane. I do hope that you're safe, OP. And it actually sounds like a crazy cult couple who saw OP and decided to prey on her. This is actually really disturbing that they had everything already set up, beds already planned, and basically they were ready to just use OP to pump out some of their children. Let me know what you guys think of OP's situation in the comments down below. Guys, that couple is absolutely insane in the brain. This next story is titled, Give Us a Biological Grandchild, and it better be male. My brother and sister-in-law have been married for 6 years. I love both dearly. They adopted a little girl about a year ago. My parents were happy about this too, at first. They got really angry when my brother and sister-in-law announced recently that their daughter would be their only child and they do not want biological kids. My mom and dad lost their business. They told my brother that he had to get my sister-in-law pregnant. He was the family's male, and he would have to have a biological son to carry forward the family name. This makes no sense to me, nor my bro and my sister-in-law. It's not as if we're a family of European royalty. Who gives a crap about the family name in this day and age? Well, my parents do, apparently. They've been berating my brother and guilt-tripping my sister-in-law, making her feel like she's taking something away from our family. On one occasion, they actually suggested that my brother leave my sister-in-law if she was the reason they didn't want to get pregnant, and to have a son with another woman. What's even worse is that they've stopped paying attention to my niece. Earlier they would call and talk to her almost every day, but ever since they were told about my brother and sister-in-law's decision, they've stopped calling her. and this pisses me off and has deeply saddened my brother and my sister-in-law. The child is 3 years old and doesn't deserve this kind of treatment. Last month, my brother told me that our mom and dad had called him and they had talked about something unrelated. When he asked if they wanted to talk to their granddaughter, they said they talked to their real grandchild when my brother came to his senses and decided to give them one. I was angrier than I've ever been in a long time. I called my parents and unloaded on them. I told them how selfish and cruel they were being and how dare they take out their anger on my niece, along with a lot of other things I can't remember. My mom started crying as she's not used to being yelled at. After that, my parents have tried to rally our relatives, our uncles, aunts, cousins, and our grandparents to gang up on my brother and sister-in-law to pressure them to have a biological child. However, their plan has failed miserably. Most of the relatives told them that they were being crazy. Cousins repeated some of the things that I'd said to them, and uncles and aunts told them if they did want a biological grandson, there was no excuse for the way they were treating my niece. Even my grandparents, who are quite old-fashioned, admonished them for their behavior towards my niece. My brother has banned them from his home, and I've banned them from mine. The ban will stay in place until they start treating my niece like their granddaughter, the way she deserves to be treated. I feel like my parents shunning my niece hurts even more, because when she first became a part of the family, they appeared to love her. But all that stopped when they found out my brother and sister-in-law won't be having any biological kids. OP, I love you for defending your niece. That little girl deserves all the love in the world, and your parents need to realize that. I do have another question for everybody. I know a lot of you listening have a lot of opinions, so let me ask you this. Does it matter if your family name is carried on? Or is OP in the right that we don't live in a time of royalty anymore, and it doesn't matter whose name gets carried on? So let me know in the comments below. Guys, and that brings us to another end of r/Entitled People. If you guys missed the last episode of r/Entitled People, a lady freaking assaults a 4-year-old kid for splashing in a pond. If you guys haven't checked it out, go give it a listen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you.